Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last lecture, we have discussed one problem on shear flow where we calculated the spacing of the nails in case of built-up sections. Okay, so in this lecture, we'll discuss one more problem on shear flow. This problem is a little bit different. So we'll come directly to the problem and we'll see how to solve these type of problem. Okay, so the problem is here. The problem is given that we have a cantilever beam. On which 80-pound load is coming acting. Okay, and the cross section as you can see that this is the built up cross section where I'm having the cross section of I have used this cross section and made up a built up beam. Okay, I have used the member where the cross section is 6 into 1.5 inch, and with the help of this member, with the help by connecting these member with the help of screws, with the help of these nails, I have made one built up section which is a cantilever beam over here, right? So what I need to calculate in this problem is that what will be the spacing of this nail, which we can denote by nail 1, okay, and spacing of nail 2, right? So in this problem is little bit different, which the problem which we have discussed previously. Okay, so in this problem, as you can see that I'll have a different spacing for this nail and different spacing for this nail. Okay, for these two nails the spacing will be same, and for these two nails the spacing will be same, right? So what I'll do over here, first I analyze the problem. I analyze this problem in two steps. Okay, first I'll calculate the spacing for this nail, and then later we'll calculate the spacing for this nail. Okay, the basic formula which we need to which we'll use in this equation again will be the same. Tau equals to V into A y bar over I into B, right? So in this problem, in this formula, what I need to calculate the what shear stress. Okay, shear stress V is given, A and Y bar I need to calculate, and I can calculate, and B is also given. Okay. So the major thing, what should I need? What should be the value of A Y bar, and what will be the value of B? This is the most important thing which we will discuss over here. Okay. So as you can see that first I am solving this problem for the nail 1. Okay, for the nail 1 where I need to calculate the spacing of the nails. Okay, spacing I need to calculate, right? So as you can see over here, this nail is restricting the relative movement of these two of this surface. Okay, of this surface. Okay, this nail is restricting the relative movement between these two nails. Okay, between these two portions, this portion and this portion. Similarly, this nail is resisting the relative movement between this member and this member, and the relative movement surface will be this, right? So for this nail, you can see that the shearing plane is a vertical plane, and for this nail, the shearing plane is the horizontal plane. Okay, this is the difference, right? So I need to calculate the shear stress at this point, and if I need to calculate the spacing for this nail, I need to calculate the shear stress at this junction, and for this nail, I need to calculate the shear stress at this junction. Okay, so the shear stress at these two junctions will be different. So first, I need to calculate the shear stress for this nail. Okay, now see it very carefully. For calculating the shear stress at this point, what I need to do over here, this is the most important thing. For calculating the shear stress, I need to make a one cut over here at the same level. Okay, and I will analyze. And I will analyze this portion. What I meant is what I meant by this statement is that if I need to calculate the shear stress at this point, and this figure and this cross section is symmetrical about these both the axes. Okay, so the shear stress at this point will be equal to the shear stress at this point, right? So that's why I'm cutting the one section at this location and considering the one section at this point and one section at this point, right? Because the shear stress at these two locations will be same, and my calculation will become easier. Okay, so this is the reason I'm taking the I'm taking the cross section. I'm cutting the cross section at this level. Okay, so now you can see that the shear resistance will be provided from these two parts only. Okay, this is what 1.5 inch. This is what 1.5 inch. Okay, what I'm saying is that the let us suppose if I'm cutting the beam like this, so the shear surface will be this only. Okay, the shear surface will be this only. This portion, this is the B like 1.5 inch and this is 1.5 inch, right? So how the shear stress will generate due to this moment, due to this load, I'll have some variation in bending moment. Okay, so we have already discussed there will be some unbalanced force. To balance this force, to balance that force to balance the force due to bending, there will be some horizontal shear stress at this location. Okay, and these two values will be the same. That's why I have cut the beam at this section. Why? Because if I cut at different section, like let us suppose one section here and one section here, then the shear stress at this plane will be different and shear stress at this plane will be different. Let us suppose what I'm saying is that first in the first case I have cut the cross section at this location. Let us suppose I cut the section like this. It's my choice. I can cut section whatever I want, for which the calculation will be simple. So let us suppose I cut the section like this. Okay, I made a cut over here and I made a cut over here. But you can see that. You can see that the shear stress at these two locations will be different. Okay, because due to the symmetry, the shear stress at this point will be equal to shear stress at this point, but at this location the shear stress will be different. So our calculation will become tough. Our main aim is to simplify this problem in very simple manner. Okay, so that's why I'm cutting this section at this portion and this portion. Okay, because the shear stresses are same. So I need to calculate only one shear stress at this point or this point, right? So this thing is clear. I guess this thing is clear because why I have cut this section at this location, right? So now what will be my AY bar? Okay, now AY bar will be nothing but this area. Okay, I have made a cut over here, so the AY bar I can calculate for this force. AY bar will be only this area above the cut or below the cut. Okay, if I am taking the area below the cut, the AY bar will be difficult to calculate. Okay, so that's why I'm taking the AY bar for the area above the cut, right? So okay, I can take this area also, but AY bar calculation will be a little bit tough. Okay, answer will come out to be same. Okay, if I made a cut over here, I had a choice whether to take AY bar for this area or this area, right? So I have taken the area cross section above the cut because AY bar will be easy to calculate, right? So AY bar is also clear what we have to take, and moment of inertia is above neutral axis we have to calculate. Okay, so now what will be our B? So B will be nothing but the resistance will be provided through the nails, and here the resistance is provided through the fibers. Okay, here the resistance will be provided through the fibers. So I can say that the B is nothing but 2 into 1.5. Okay, so this is the thing. Now this is the problem which we have. This is the thing which I want to discuss. Now I will calculate. First I need to calculate the Y bar where the centroid will lie, and then I will calculate the moment of inertia. Okay, after that our problem will be easy to calculate. So first I need to calculate the moment of inertia of this beam, right? So moment of inertia is nothing but first before calculating the moment of inertia I need to calculate what will be the centroid of the beam. Okay, so need to calculate the centroid, I am taking this as a reference axis. Okay, this reference axis I am taking. So uh, so the centroid will be AY bar. Centroid will be, let us suppose this complete cross section is of 7.5 into 7.5 inch. This complete cross section is 7.5 into 7.5 inch. It is like this. This is 7.5. This is 7.5. And inside the clear area is nothing but, this will be 4.5. This is 4.5. Okay. This is 6. 6 minus 1.5 is 4.5. Okay, so I will calculate the what will be the centroid of this area. First, I'll take the whole area 7.5 into 7.5, and is the centroid of it will be, this is in inch. Remember that. So centroid of it will be 7.5 divided by 2. So it will be 7.5 divided by 2, which is nothing but 3.75. Okay, plus it should be negative because we are subtracting this area. So negative 4.5 into 4.5 into, and what will be the centroid from this portion, this thing, this is nothing but 1.5, 1.5, and this the centroid will be 4.5 divided by 2, 4.5 divided by 2 plus 1.5. So again, the centroid is 33.75. Okay, and total area will be 7.75 minus of 4.5 into 4.5. I have taken minus sign because this area is not there. Okay, so if I calculate the y bar of this thing, y bar will be 7.5 into 3.75 minus 4.5 into 4.5 into 3.75. 7.5. So y bar is nothing but 3.75 inch. Okay, I need not to calculate this thing because this is a symmetrical figure. I can directly calculate the y bar. It will be acting as a centroid, that is 3.5 inch. Okay, so now I need to calculate what will be the moment of inertia of this cross section, right? So if I need to calculate the moment of inertia of this cross section, what I'll do over here, I'll take this thing 7.5 into 7.5 whole cube over 12 minus of 4.5 into 4.5 whole cube over 12. Okay, this will be the moment of inertia. 7.5 into 7.5. The moment of inertia is 229.5 inch power 4. Okay, so this is a symmetrical figure, so things are very easy to calculate. Okay, actually I don't need not to calculate this thing by the symmetry, by the this thing is section is symmetrical about this axis, so I can directly write it will be acting at the center 3.5, which is 3.75 inch. So moment of inertia is okay. Y bar is again calculated. So there now this y bar is different than this y bar. Okay, this y bar is of whole cross section, right? Now I need to calculate the shear stress at this point. Okay, so for that we have already discussed earlier that I need to take this area. Okay, this complete area I need to take. I can also take this area, but my calculation will become little bit different. So I am taking the area above the cut. Okay, so above the cut I am taking the area. What will be the area? A y bar will be, is nothing but A is what, 7.5 into 1.5, and what will be the y bar? This is y bar from this thing. This is 3.75 minus 1.5 divided by 2. Okay, so this for this cross section, for this section y bar is like, y bar will be this. So y bar is nothing but 3.75 minus 1.5 divided by 2. So y bar is nothing, y bar is 3 inch. Okay, so Ay bar is 7.5 into 1.5 into 3. Okay, it is 33.75 inch cube. This is not the volume. Okay, remember that. So now this is the first moment of area. So now now I can say that I know the value of I know the value of a y bar, and v is given. So tau equals to shear stress at this point, at this location, at this point will be tau equals to v is what, 80, a y bar is 33.75. Okay, and I is what, I is 229.5 into B. B is important thing. B, which we have already discussed, it's nothing but 2 into 1.5, because the resistance will provide at these two junctions. Okay, if I cut this section over here, the B will be, one B is from at this portion and one width is from this portion. Okay, so B will be 2 into 1.5 inch. So tau is tau is coming out to be 3.92 inch square, right? Okay, so the shear stress will be acting at this point. If the unbalanced force is acting along this section, the shear, to resist that thing, the shear stress will act in this plane. This plane I'm talking, the shear stress will act in this plane. Okay, so this is the thing. Now this thing is clear. So tau is okay. Now what will be the tau is calculated. So now what will be the shear flow at this location? So shear flow is nothing but tau into B. Okay, so B at this point is what, B is 1.5. So tau is 3.92 into 1.5. Okay, so the value which it comes out to be 3.92 into 1.5. So it is coming out to be 5.88 pound per inch. Okay. Now this thing is done. So shear flow is calculated for this nail. So the total shear force which is coming on this nail will be nothing but, it is like this. So let us suppose this is this cross section I'm telling about. This cross section I'm talking about. Okay, this cross section I'm talking about. Here the one nail will be there. Okay, so this cross section, at this cross section, one nail will be here, one nail is here, one nail is here. Okay, so for each nail, width is constant, B. Okay, B is constant. Okay, and this is nothing but each nail, total shear force which is coming on each nail will be 5.88 into spacing of each nail. Okay, this will be the total force which is coming on each nail. Okay, so the shear flow will look like this. Okay, I'm multiplying with the spacing of the nails to get the total shear force on each nail, because at this location the shear resistance will be taken care of by the nail. At this location the shear resistance will be taken care by the fiber. So the allowable shear force for the nail is nothing but 30 lb. This value is given. So from here we can find the spacing of the nail. From here I can find the spacing of the nail, which is 5.1 inch, the spacing of the nails. Right, and if I check the answer, okay, so answer is correct. It is 5.1 inch, or you can, in practice we generally provide less than this value. So spacing is nothing but 5 inch. Okay, so this is the for this nail the spacing should be 5. For this nail the spacing should be 5 inch, right? So this is the thing I want to discuss over here. This is the problem. Means for this thing, for this nails, the spacing is, for these nails the spacing is 5 inch. Okay. Now I need to calculate what will be the spacing of these nails, S dash. Okay. So I hope this problem is little bit clear for this portion. Okay, now we'll see how we will calculate the shear force, how we'll calculate the spacing of these nails. Moment of inertia will be same. In this problem, the important thing is what will be the first moment of area. That is the important thing. Okay. Now, if I want to calculate the spacing for the spacing S dash for the nail. Now the figure. Let us draw the figure again. This is the cross section. Okay. Now I need to calculate what will be the spacing of these nails. Okay. These nails. This nail spacing is calculated. Okay. Now I need to calculate the spacing of this nail. Now you can see that the shearing resistance, the shearing area is for this nail is this one. Okay. This nail is resisting this shearing. Okay. So I need to calculate what will be the shear stress generated at this point. Okay, that is our primary aim, because that shear stress will be taken care by the nail, because nail is restricting the relative movement between these two parts. Okay, so now this is our line of symmetry. Similarly, at a distance of x, I can similarly take one more section at this point x. Okay, where I'll cut the section. Right. Now, if I take out this cross section, it will look like this. Okay. Here the one nail is provided. Okay. Here the resistance is provided between the fibers. The resistance is taken care by the resistance provided by the fibers. And here the resistance of the shear resistance, you can say that the shear resistance is provided by the nail. Okay. So now you can see that what I want to tell is that, if let us suppose this is the figure. So if some imbalance force is there, the resistance will look like this. If there's some imbalance force is in this direction, to balance this force, the resistance will act like this. So the value is symmetrical. So with the figure is symmetrical, so the response will be also be symmetrical. That's why I have taken the similar cross section at this point. Okay, if I take some different section, like let us suppose some at different location, then the shear stress at this point will be different, shear stress at this point will be different. So our problem will become tough. Okay, so now I will take the similar cross section at this point and this point. Now I will calculate the shear stress. Okay, now I is already known. What will be the A by bar? That is important thing. So A by bar. I have two choice over here. Either I can take A by bar. This thing, or I can take this whole complete thing. Okay. Now you decide what should we take. Okay, to make the calculation simple, I will take this area, this A by bar. Okay, A by bar for this portion. Okay, because it is easy to calculate. Okay, I can take this portion also. Okay, so I'll take this portion for A by bar. Okay, so the dimension will be this is nothing but 4.5 and this is 1.5 inch. Right. So again, A by bar will be, A by bar is nothing but 4.5 into 1.5, right? And the centroid will be, it will be 3.75 minus 1.5. It will be 3.75. Centroid will be from this location. .75 minus 1.5 divided by 2. So it is 3 inches. Okay. So now A by bar will be 4.5 into 1.5 into 3. So it is nothing but 20.25 inch per cube. Okay, that's not the volume. Remember that. Okay, now tau equals to B into A by bar over I into D, right? Now B will be what? One B will be from here sharing, and one resistance will be provided from this side. So B will be total. Generally B will be 2 into 1.5. Okay, total B. So I can write over here B is nothing but 80. AY bar is 20.25 and I is 229.5 into B is what? 2 into 1.5. Okay, because the resistance will be provided from both the sides, from this side also, from this side also. So our value will become 80 into 29.5 into 2 into 1.5. So tau is coming out to be what? 2.35 pounds per inch square. Okay, 2.35 pounds per inch square. Right now, I need to calculate what will be the spacing of this thing. Okay, so if I again take this cross section, again this here the shear resistance is taken care by the nails. So if I take this cross section, this view, this is the cross section. Let us suppose. So I'm taking this portion. The shear resistance will be acting in this direction. Okay. So if I'm seeing from this side, so it will look like this. The shear flow will be this. Okay. And one nail will be there. Let us suppose the spacing of the nails is S dash. Okay, so total force will be which will be taken care of by this nail will be nothing but 2.35 into S. So first we'll calculate the shear flow. So Q shear flow for this at this location. So Q equals to tau 2.35 into B. B is what? B for this side is 1.5. Okay, 1.5 inch. So 2.35 into 1.5 is 3.525. Okay, 525 lb per inch. So total force for each nail will be 3.525 into spacing h dash equals to what? 30 pounds. Okay, so if I calculate this thing, 30 divided by 3.525 is, it is coming out to be, S dash is coming out to be 8.5 inch the spacing for this nail. Okay, so S dash value is 8.5 inch. So spacing for this nail is coming out to be 8.5 inch. So let me check the answer here. So answer is correct over here. This is 8.5 inch. Okay, so so we have discussed this problem in detail. This is the little bit of complicated problem where we have different shearing surface for each nail. Okay, the problem where the shearing surface are different, we need to calculate how work. The most important thing is what will be our AY bar, because moment of inertia, centroid, you can easily calculate, but deciding AY bar is an important thing. Okay, AY bar will be decided on the basis that our calculation will become easier. Either I need to take the section above the cut or below the cut. Okay. In the same case, if I apply the cut over here, I need to take the cut area in this direction or in reverse direction. Okay, or in this direction. Okay, so you need to think carefully which first moment of area you need to take. Okay, so guys, I'm done with this problem over here. One more problem we'll see. Okay, after that we'll close this topic of shear flow, then we'll move to the different topic. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lecture. If you have any query, you can write down in the comment section. Okay, thank you very much.